Venice. A city that defies logic, floats on water, and is one of history's most impressive engineering marvels. But how did a muddy lagoon become one of the world's most unique cities, with no roads, no land, and no fresh water? This is the story of Venice's incredible transformation, a tale of human ingenuity, perseverance, and creativity that has inspired engineers and architects for centuries. Our story begins in the 5th century, during one of the darkest periods in Roman history. The empire was collapsing under the pressure of invading forces, and entire cities were being razed to the ground by the Huns, led by the fearsome Attila. In a desperate bid for survival, thousands of Roman citizens fled to an unlikely sanctuary, the Venetian lagoon, a swampy and barren landscape. These refugees could have never imagined that they were laying the foundation for what would one day become a global maritime power. Arriving in the lagoon, the early Venetians faced an impossible challenge. The land they had chosen for safety was not land at all. It was a muddy, unstable marsh. There was no fertile soil for farming, no fresh water, and no way to build permanent structures. And yet, this would become their home. With determination, they began building makeshift shelters on stilts, adapting to their new environment in ways that had never been done before. The key to Venice's future lay in an extraordinary engineering technique, the use of wooden piles. To build a city on water, the Venetians needed stable foundations, so they began importing thousands of tree trunks from Slovenia, Croatia, and the Alps. These wooden piles, driven deep into the lagoon's soft bed, provided the stability needed to support massive buildings. But how, you may ask, does wood and water last for centuries? Here's the brilliance. The piles are submerged below the waterline, preventing oxygen from reaching the wood, which stops decay. Over time, the wood becomes petrified, turning as hard as stone. It's a testament to their foresight that many of these foundations still hold Venice today, nearly 1,500 years later. Unlike any other city, Venice chose to forego roads in favor of canals. The city's intricate system of waterways became its lifeline, transporting goods and people through its winding channels. By the medieval period, the Venetians had perfected the art of canal building. They dug and expanded natural channels, lined them with impermeable materials like bricks and stone, and created a network of more than 170 canals, spanning the city's 118 islands. But building on water presented another challenge: bridges. Venice's early bridges were simple wooden structures, but over time they evolved into the stunning stone arches we see today. These bridges, such as the famous Rialto Bridge, became essential for transport, commerce, and daily life. Completed in 1591, the Rialto Bridge was one of Venice's greatest engineering feats. The challenge? Spanning the Grand Canal without the use of modern materials like steel or reinforced concrete. The bridge had to support both pedestrians and bustling marketplace activity. Engineers opted for an ambitious design, a single stone arch stretching over the canal. Many believed it would collapse under its weight, but it still stands strong today, a testament to the innovation of Renaissance engineering. Despite being surrounded by water, the early Venetians had no source of fresh water. The lagoon was salt water, and digging wells in the swampy terrain was impossible. To solve this, they designed an ingenious system of collecting rainwater. Large cisterns were constructed beneath the city's squares, with layers of clay and sand filtering rainwater from the paved surfaces. The filtered water would collect in underground reservoirs, providing Venetians with their only source of drinkable water. It was an elegant and sustainable solution that worked for centuries, allowing Venice to grow despite its harsh environment. Waste management presented another challenge. How do you dispose of waste in a city without drainage and surrounded by water? Venetians devised a system where waste was channeled through the canals and carried out to sea with the ebb and flow of the tides. The design ensured that the waste was not trapped in the canals but was instead washed away naturally, keeping the city's waterways clean enough for transportation and daily life. However, modern-day pollution and population growth have made this method less effective. posing a new challenge to preserve Venice's beauty and function. Venice wasn't just a city of functional engineering, it was a city of grandeur. St. Mark's Basilica, built in the Byzantine style with its gleaming domes and mosaics, is one of Venice's greatest landmarks. Constructed on soft, marshy ground, the basilica's foundations consist of hundreds of wooden piles driven into the lagoon's floor, proving the incredible strength of this ancient method. Inside, the basilica reflects Venice's status as a trade empire, filled with treasures from across the Mediterranean and the East. By the Middle Ages, Venice had transformed into one of the richest cities in Europe, thanks to its prime location between East and West. As a maritime trading empire, Venice controlled trade routes that connected Europe to Asia. Its shipyards, known as the Arsenal, could build entire fleets in days, a remarkable feat of industrial organization and engineering efficiency. Venetian merchants brought spices, silk, and other luxuries from the East, turning Venice into a hub of wealth and culture. Its canals bustled with ships from every corner of the world, making Venice a melting pot of ideas, goods, and people. Despite Venice's glory, the city now faces new existential threats. Rising sea levels and climate change are causing frequent flooding, known as acqua alta. Modern engineers have responded with projects like MOSE, a series of massive gates designed to close off the lagoon from the Adriatic Sea during high tides. The goal? To preserve this incredible city for future generations. But will these efforts be enough to protect Venice, or is the city slowly sinking into the lagoon it once mastered? Venice is more than just a city. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity, creativity, and determination. Against all odds, it is a shining example of what can be achieved when necessity drives innovation. The city continues to inspire not just as a historical marvel but as a symbol of what's possible in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed exploring the engineering marvel of Venice, subscribe to ExploreHist for more incredible tales from history that shaped the world.